Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blood, Fate, and Fortune, a game of swashbuckling, sorcery, and seduction, all set in the world of 7th Sea. My name is Dan McCurdy, or you can find me at RevDMC247 on TikTok, YouTube, Blue Sky, and if you find me anywhere else, it's probably my evil twin. And would you please tell them to remember to call our parents occasionally? I will allow my players to introduce themselves, starting with Natalie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie, also known as Gizmos Aplenty across the social medias. And tonight I am portraying Leonora Orsini, the Sorte Strega.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah McCoy, also known as Basics of the Game, and I am playing the Losajas from Samresia named Mykolas Kelvan.
Hello all, I am Wolfgar, Reaper Wolfgar everywhere it matters, and I am going to be playing Rafael Rodriguez, the priest, who's just a priest.
Hey yo, I am Took, or Took I Guess. You can follow me everywhere at Took I Guess, especially here on the Twitchies, now recently YouTubes, and TikToks. I am playing the lovely muscle monster hunter mommy Roan Ibex.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lakar the Artificer, all across the void that is social media. And I am once again playing the beautiful but broken Umberto Vitale.
In our previous episode of Blood, Fate, and Fortune, the party was in Castle Volkov, where they had run into, I think it's fair to say, a little bit of trouble. The castle was apparently full to bursting of ghosts that the inhabitants of the castle, Boyar Andrei Volkov and his lovely wife, the lady Soraya Estrovich, could not see. While this was going on, however, Raphael and Rowan had gotten interrupted in a time of, shall we say, passion. Passion's the word. They were interrupted in a time of passion by a figure that looked very much like a monk. Following this strange figure, they were transported into a painting where they met the brother Rico Sandoval, apparently a disciple of the second prophet and a follower, but one who'd been left behind in a sort of hermitage and who had been protecting the inhabitants of the castle from these ghosts. But the passion that he had interrupted had apparently awoken the ghosts, and trouble was coming. He had to tell Raphael and Roan about this. Leonora, Mykolas, and Umberto were fully aware, as they were being chased by these all over the castle, being attacked from all directions in very difficult battle. After a conversation with the brother offered to stand as a confessor for Roan as she continued her path to become a knight of the Graal in Avalon, and also informed Raphael that in order to solve the problem, the ghosts did not need to be defeated by a warrior. They needed a priest. And so Raphael was sent to the chapel in order to preach the sermon, to let them know a time was coming. While he was doing that, he encountered 4 ghostly figures that seemed to question him and ask who he was and what he was doing. And over time, he came to associate 3 of them, at least, with the 3 prophets of the Vaticine faith that had come before. And the 4th figure, a shrouded figure, a figure that could not be seen or interpreted, seemed to be the promise of the coming 4th prophet, a prophet that it is said would herald the end of the world. Meanwhile, fighting the ghosts and just having a great time, there was a lot of movement in and out of secret passages and stuff like that. Mykolas managed to rescue Andrei Volkov from the leader of the ghosts, who was carrying a very odd sword. He attempted to destroy the sword, and the sword laughed at him. He realized that the sword is in fact made of Dracheneisen and resisted any attempts to destroy it, and so he picked it up himself and came to fear that the sword itself might have had something to do with the presence of the ghosts in the castle. Rowan, meanwhile, being sent out after having confessed, including hearing in the process of the confession that amongst the things she might have stolen might include the good Father Raphael himself, went out in order to see if she could help in the fight. However, she got attacked by what seemed to be the ghost of a vampire. This vampire, finally, one of the ghosts managed to possess one of our heroes. And under the influence of this vampire, Roan, who was wearing nothing but a monk's cloak that seemed to be painted onto her, because magic in the painting and why not, was driven to madness by the ghost of this vampire and ended up attacking the group. When in the basement, they discovered the Lady Soraya Estrovich as a werewolf who transformed on nights and was being kept there by her husband in order to keep her safe so that she would not harm any others. The battles were hard. Wounds were taken. And the group, finally, having found some peace, went to their rooms, where Umberto, after having traversed through the in-between in order to help save members of the party, found a letter in that bloody realm from Angelica Felici. And we are going to open with Umberto. It is a cool, dark night in the city of Felici. You are walking the perimeter as you often did. Protection in this house you had to protect your charge from many things. Some foes from outside of the household, some from within. You walk around the tower. Looking up, you can see the balcony. The light is on, and she's up there, looking down at you. You're tempted to wave, but you don't, because you're leaving tonight. And you're afraid to give her the word that might lead her to follow you. Why, Umberto, were you leaving?
They were trying to pin things on me that I am not at fault for. That they're making me a scapegoat in their plans. And if I stay, they win. And if I run, then maybe she'd be safe.
You walk around to the backside of the tower, no longer in view of her balcony from her bower. How did you leave?
He would have just silently made his way out, but put on a face so there was no reason to make her worry.
You hadn't thought much of that night since. Other times with her, yes. But that one night it seemed unimpressive. Just the night in which you chose to go. But now, here you are. And you shake your head. And you're back in your room at Castle Volkov, holding that letter in your hands. You half expected when you woke up to find out that the letter had been a dream. But it's still there. Its edges marked as if they'd been burned. But somehow whole. Fully legible. Drifting in the in-between. And you've known things to appear in the in-between from time to time. Things, particularly when blessures are being created, things can sometimes be sucked into them. What is Umberto thinking as he's reading or rereading that letter?
He just looks up at the ceiling. I despise everything you stand for. Taking her free will away. Making it seem like no matter what anyone does, you and your goddamn threads twisting around everyone. It seems you're not without your sense of humor. That despite as much as I want to believe fate is just absolute bullshit, you know just what message to send to show me who's in charge, huh? So as much as I hate you, thank you. And now I know what I have to do.
Lenora,
Yep.
there's a knocking at your door. You had not been dreaming, or if you did, you don't remember it. As you slowly come to consciousness, you can see that the sun is starting to rise. And again, you hear the...
Lenora is going to get out of bed. She's going to reach for a dagger that she has on her side table and place it behind her as she goes up to the door and opens it ever so slightly.
On the other side, you see Lady Soraya,
Oh,
a robe wrapped around her, and she's looking pale, sallow, some bruising and stuff like that. Her hair a little bit wild. I apologize if I woke you. Of course I woke you.
no, it is quite all right. Are you well?
Better than when you saw me last.
I am just ever grateful that you chose the right target.
Could I come in and speak to you?
Of course. And she's going to open the door to let her in, walk over to her side of the bed, and discard of the dagger somewhat discreetly.
She steps in, and you get the impression actually sees your dagger and does not think twice about it, given the previous events.
Women, let's
And
go.
She sits in a chair near the bed, walks like someone who has had the crap beat out of them recently. Like her motions do not speak to injury, but they do speak to soreness and pain. And like all the muscles are working, all the bones are in the right place, but nothing is happy about being where it is. And she goes over and slowly sets herself into the chair and looks up and goes, "It has been quite some time since anyone other than Andre has seen me that way."
Well, it is something we are unfortunately used to seeing.
You've run into many werewolves.
Not necessarily. Tis more strange things happen when we are around. It might be some twisted deal of fate or something, but we are all the more prepared to help more than hurt.
I was bitten when I was a young girl.
Oh, my darling.
I probably should not have survived. Usually they don't stop at a bite. And she holds up an arm, and you can see even years later, and she's got a good amount of gray in her hair, scarring along her arm that looks like scarring that's been there a very long time. It's clearly not a fresh injury. And before the beast could kill me, Boyar Volkov, the old one, Andrei's father, he came into the village and drove it off. Many of our people had been killed already, including my parents. Papa had tried to protect me from it, had bought me the time I had. And with my family gone and me bitten, there was a hunter from the guild with him who said that mercy, pity would have been to kill me then. But the boyar refused. Brought me to his castle, raised me, and in time I fell in love with his son.
It must be quite a challenge all this time.
It is odd living in two worlds simultaneously. The human world that most people see, and the wolf world on the other side. There's wisdom over there. But when you're half in one, half in the other, it's only confusing and rage. There was something about your friend last night. Like fighting her was the higher priority. When she entered the room, it was like none of the rest of you were even there. But the reason I came to speak to you, I couldn't think about it at the time. What is the meaning of the black thread?
What do you mean by this?
There was a thread attached to you. People have connections with each other. Wolves do too. And the wolf can not see it, especially, but the smell. Your thread was burned. Nearly ash.
If I can be honest, I don't know. I've been trained to read threads all of my life, and yet this is the one that I cannot understand. It plagues me every day.
Have you ever tried following it?
When my mother was alive, she said that happiness can be found in other directions, and that only trouble came from this thread. I want so badly to want a happy life, but there is a part of me that is drawn to it.
Not just you. The other from your country, Umberto.
I don't know
It does
why.
not come from him. It does not end at him, but it entangles him. In a way, it does not the others.
So I'm not dreaming then.
I am not versed enough to tell a fate which. But it's why I opened with my story. It seemed fair. If I know something about you after all the good you did for me.
Well, thank you for showing me some sense in a way to actually go towards something I need to know the truth about.
She reaches into the sleeve of her robe and she pulls out a sheathed dagger. And she hands it to you. It is beautifully worked. Mahogany sheath. At first you think silver engraving, but as you run your fingers along it, it's colder, more like highly burnished iron. And then when you pull it, the blade is silver.
This is
There's a
beautiful.
problem that we have had, that when someone meets a werewolf and survives the encounter, they hesitate the next time they see one because they know there's a person under there. Don't. Even if you recognized me, if I am changed and I am coming for you, I won't be able to stop. Silver, fire, those are the ways.
And there's no way to break it.
If there is a cure, it does not exist anywhere in Andre's library, and he has looked.
She's going to sheath the dagger, place it beside her, and then she's going to take Soraya's hand. Despite everything that has been happening, you have been an incredible host. And I don't wish to make promises that I cannot keep, but I do hope that if I do find something, that I can come back here and break it for you.
You are always welcome here. Me and my Andre will always welcome you. But do not think over long on my fate. I have a good home. I have a husband who cares for me. And I have an affliction, but one that can be managed. So long as we are clever. We never thought any of you could possibly get to the dungeons, which was why we allowed you to come in the first place.
Well,
You are clever.
sometimes. But sometimes I do seem to dwell on fate too much.
Having an eye for fate, knowing what I was always going to be, would have led that hunter to kill me as a little girl. But without averting my fate, I live a good life. Just because you know the circumstances that will come does not mean you understand the consequences. Listen to me lecturing Strega about such things.
No, it is welcomed. Thank you so much for this gift. Not only for the dagger, but for your company as well.
Breakfast will be ready soon. And when you're ready, come out. And she stands up and walks a little bit better, even just in the short time she talked to you. It seems that she heals quickly from the transformations as she heads out the door.
As she does, I'd like to take a moment and walk over to my desk
Mm-hmm.
and pull out a blank card
Okay.
and start to draw.
All right. Go ahead and make your roll.
I will. I forgot what it is, so we're gonna go check it out. I think it's 5 dice.
Well, that'll depend. After you roll, you are going to lose all dice that are 6 or lower. I'm spending a villain point.
I don't. I love you truly. Resolve and notice. Where are my things? 3, 2. Okay, cool. Okay, here we go. Let's go, chat. Let's go. You said 6 and lower?
6 and lower are gone. Did you roll? Did you manage to avoid that? What'd you do?
So I rolled 1 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then I rolled 4 8s and a 0.
Way to go!
3 raises.
Tell my villain points to get lost. Very well done. 3 raises. All right. What are you drawing? Okay.
I am going to be painting the moon
Mm-hmm.
with part of it kind of phased out, or I'm going to do half of a moon. Half
Mhm.
of it is going to be a full moon. The other half is going to be a new moon, and it's going to be a little girl and a wolf. And this is my intention for the wheel.
Nice. Love it. Very good for the wheel. Slightly worrying for Rowan, who is the wheel, but we'll see.
It's fine.
All right. Mykolas, how well did you sleep last night?
Mykolas, I think, given all the injuries he's suffered lately and how hard he had to work during that fight, probably slept the sleep of somebody who just can't avoid it. Like, it doesn't matter how much turmoil you have. If you're that exhausted, you're going down, and that's pretty much what he did.
Did you sleep well? Yes, it's the trauma. Yeah, so so you sleep. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing your eyes fall on is the sword. Last night, when you went to bed, it looked the way it looked when the old Boyar, I believe we said great-grandfather of Andre, whose ghost you fought, had been wielding it. And it was this long, mean-looking long sword with a serrated edge on one side, just looking like a weapon of cruelty and destruction. But what was the sword Mykolas always wished he could have had when he had his time in the army?
A heavy cavalry saber.
That is what you see when you wake up.
He looks at it, admires it probably, like the lines.
Beautifully made.
And then takes out some cord and ties it in such a manner that it cannot be drawn.
All right.
And puts it
for the record, so your sword was destroyed in the process of trying to destroy this, and it will now fit in your scabbard. Really perfectly. But yeah, you are able to piece bond it.
Yeah. He can't trust till he knows more. He doesn't want to make whatever mistake that Boyar made at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a thing he will carry until he understands it or has to destroy it.
Okay. Stepping out, you're starting to hear a little bit of liveliness in the castle. Some of the servants who had been notably absent the previous night we all hear seem to be moving around. taking care of things. Actually, there's a knock at your door, and how would you respond to that?
He would go to the door. Yes.
You see a not very young woman, like right between the age of where you would say young woman and just a woman, standing there, and she's like, cold water for you this morning.
Thank you.
And she hands you the pitcher. Do you need fresh towels, blankets, anything like that?
He'll think for a moment. Bandages.
Bandages. Ah, yes. She pauses. Your accent. Coronia.
Yes, I'm from Coronia.
What is your hometown?
I lived in this small hut in the woods, actually.
Ah, yes, from the wilds. Did you follow the old gods?
I still do.
And she kind of pulls back her necklace and pulls out, pulls back a collar of her dress and then pulls out a small emblem. And you recognize one of the older of the old gods, considered generally unnamed, but always referred to as the shepherd.
Good to see the shepherd onward.
I will be right back with the bandages. Are you in great need? Do you need a nurse?
I need to rebind my wounds, that's all.
Oh, very well. And she leaves, and not too long after comes back with some clean bandages for you, freshly cut.
He'll set about rebinding his wounds again.
All right, so now we come to Roan and Raphael. So, after the passion, would you all have slept in your own rooms, or would you have slept together?
Ron definitely would have been in her room. She needs some time to think. So, he's welcome to sleep in there if he wants. But
Would Raphael have gone to her room?
I don't knowing that there was a lot that they both sort of went through that same day. He would have checked in with her before going, but he probably would have let her sleep by herself, knowing what happened and how upset she seemed to be. Because I imagine that he had heard about what happened to her and being possessed and all that other stuff, and just generally speaking, probably let her have her space for that.
Mm-hmm. Plus, you don't want it to you don't want it to become a polycule. It's just you and her, not whoever was on board. Okay, so you wake up in your bed in your room. Your prayer book is on the bedside table where you often put it when you have that option, and the room is quiet. You're starting to see some of the light of dawn coming through your window. And what would Raphael have been thinking about?
Rico, wondering where he went, because I don't feel like, because he's really not sure what happened after they left the painting and after everything went on. And so he's curious about that, and also curious about the fourth prophet and what it means, and the way the four ghostly figures kind of called his face to the carpet, and called the fact that he wears a mask sometimes up to that, and how he responded to that. So he's kind of thinking about the events of yesterday or the previous night, and he'll slowly sit up in bed and reach out to grab the prayer book, and just slowly, as he's thinking that thought process, he slowly just flips through the very well-loved, well-worn pages and just kind of skims it.
Any desire to go and check on the painting?
Is it in the room?
No, it's not in your room. It's in one of the hallways.
Okay. Then, yeah, he probably will. he'll, in his casual garb, not in his vestments, will sort of get himself together and take his book with him and make sure he's got the holy symbol. The other chain that he wears is also around his neck, and he'll make his way over to the painting to look at it and see if it's any different.
The painting seems unbothered. In fact, that whole hallway just has this sense of peace to it. And remembering, like, you, in all of the descriptions of the different people being chased by the ghosts and stuff like that, you never heard of anyone seen any in this hallway.
Makes
The
sense.
peace that seemed
He was
to emanate
protecting
from
it.
him. So you walk up, and the painting is untouched, beautiful, almost shockingly lifelike. As you look at it.
Kind of just say he wonders if he can see Rico in it at all, or any
you look in,
indication that
and you
there is
see-
someone in it.
And you see the Hermitage, that tiny little chapel and home that he seemed to use as a home. And as you're looking at it through one of the windows, you feel like maybe you see a figure, a silhouette against the light. The window is so small from that vantage point that you can't zoom a painting, unfortunately. So, yeah.
You can't do the whole pinch and pull.
Intense.
he-
Yeah.
No, he he sort of looks at, and he wonders if he would be able to talk to him again, because he isn't sure how that whole thing worked. He kind of gets it, but he kind of doesn't understand.
Do you do anything?
But he will basically do the equivalent in the name of the
Okay. You name the three prophets
cross-
to this belt.
Mhm.
And as you name it, you feel like there's almost a shimmer across the surface of the painting. So almost as if it was the surface of water on a pond, and a stone had been dropped about 3 or 4 feet to the right. It's this sort of shimmer waving thing over, and the surface looks nebulous. Like normally it's like, here is where the painting is, here is where it is not, and they're like, it's almost 3-dimensional as you're there.
He's gonna touch it.
And as you touch it, you feel a very quick sense of vertigo, and then you're out in the field. And the Hermitage is there, and the door opens, and out walks the brother, Rico Sandoval. It went well.
It did. He kind of chuckles and goes, I did not think I would get this far. I didn't know.
This
He'll walk
painting,
closer, obviously.
this painting was the work of 3 great sorcerers at the request of my friend.
Sure.
Did
you witness it being read?
Unfortunately, no. But I heard tales. It involved a portier, a Los Ajas, and the Fate Witch, working their power together.
Sorry,
Such things were not supposed to be possible. They were always at odds. Portiers, Faith Witches, and especially the Losajas. Always fighting. Always battling. And yet coming together, they made a thing that is supposed to be impossible. Creation.
The way they talk now, it is not this way. It is so divided. No one
And yet-
invented the Inquisition.
And yet, here you are, with your friends. This actually is not all it was meant to be. It was not the original grand plan.
What was its original purpose?
The original intention was greater. This had the Portier's capacity to bend and meld space and time. The Fate Witch's ability to pull on the strings and bring fates where they were meant to go and guide and preserve. The raw power that is found through the wills of the Losajas and their Devai. But it didn't have the spark of life. It will always only be a painting. If you were to walk in that direction for any period of time, you would approach the Hermitage from the opposite.
Mm.
It needed the spark of life.
It's a loop.
But unfortunately, we did not have any access to any of the Knights of the Graal.
He has the light bulb moment. Rowan was here.
Mm-hmm. And Roan is pursuing, but this painting is long since crafted. In order to do what they thought this could be, someone would need to start over. Do it their own way. And they would need a guide and inspiration.
Am I to take it to mean that is what you are here for?
No, it is a hermitage. I stay here. I pray. I help those who come my way. I've spent a long time in this palace. Well, castle. And I bring what peace I can. Advice when it is asked. I was able to calm the spirits of the ghosts, keep them from focusing on the important work of Andre and Soraya. But I couldn't show them the path. They had to come to me and they could not. They needed you.
Me?
Didn't you go to them? Preach to them? Show
I
them that the
did,
day was
but
coming and they could rest until that day came?
Yes, but they are waiting for the fourth prophet. They're not waiting for me. And there is no way to tell when the fourth prophet is supposed to come.
Indeed,
Oh,
it's supposed to be
truly.
impossible. No signs. The third prophet had signs. My friend had signs. But no one can know when the fourth prophet will come.
Mm.
He or she. All we know is that they will not be what is expected.
Stands to reason. Based on the way they tell it, it's going to flip everything we know on its head.
And that might be truer for this Inquisition more than anyone else.
Don't know how. I have always been a man of faith and wanting to follow in the footsteps of your friend, because just because someone practices a certain thing, yes, we should tread with caution, but it's not an end-all be-all thing. You don't have to write them off or simply because of what they are and what they do. There's power in knowledge, and you can come together. And this is proof, and they don't see it. And I don't know how. If I am one man, I do not know how I am supposed to help. I took up the mask because it was there, and they saved me, so I return the favor and wear the mask when necessary, but it is one way. I still have faith in the prophet. Not very
You had
many.
your faith. You had your faith. But at times you found it necessary to take up the sword, yes?
Yes, fight for those who cannot fight for themselves.
That was the way of the third prophet. The Inquisition has run a little far with it. Each of them, my friend included, failed in their own way. The lesson heard, but then misinterpreted, twisted. Maybe the fourth will be the one that finally shows what Thea was looking for, might still be looking for. Or maybe they will show us that everything we thought we knew was wrong all over again.
Who's to say? I do not see the future, and I do not control fate.
And yet you know those who can.
I do. Leonora is.
He leans forward and he goes, "It is even in your service to my friend. It is hard to break the habits of a lifetime. Thinking of sorceries as miracles is hard because they are terrifying. There's nothing more terrifying than a miracle. But you need to see them that way. And if you can do it for these, your friends, your companions, then maybe in time you can teach the world to do the same for all of them. And maybe, miracle of miracles, get them to see themselves that way." There's one in particular I wanted to speak to you of.
It isn't.
The Losajas, Mykolas.
Yes.
He's carrying a
Well,
burden that
welcome.
he cannot bear. He is strong. He's very strong. And the strong who use that strength to protect the weak, as he does, eventually you see everyone as weak. And you take every challenge onto yourself. If he continues down that path, it will break him. And the Divine will use him for her own ends. He has to learn to let some things go, to hand them off to others, to share the strength of others. And he will not at all want to hear that from me. But you, take your time. Don't rush it, don't force it.
I do worry of him often, especially as of late. He's taken so many physical beatings that can only add to the mental strain. And I know that I only have heard about what happens with Los Adjust and their device. I cannot fathom knowing what that truly is like unless I experience it for myself, but I can only imagine the strain.
Only he can walk the path of his Devai. That burden cannot be taken from him. But there are others that he could put down or give over to someone else.
So I can try my best and continue to be a friend, a constant, if nothing else. Sometimes I have, at least in some of my experience, that continuing to offer a place and continuing to be a place where people can rest can mean more than anything. The action, it's the action of caring.
Why else do we build hermitages? But to be a rest. But for now, you remain a traveler and a wanderer. Use your power. Share it with them. And he reaches out.
I still don't understand.
He reaches out and touches your forehead. And you recognize the old, it's almost an anointing touch. There's no oil on his fingers, but just as he traces the symbol of Vadacine on you. You don't have to understand it. And remember, when they didn't understand the third prophet and tried to force understanding, that is where the Inquisition came from. There is one that they will listen to. That is the third prophet. If you wish to reach them, you will need his teachings. Those are the ones they cannot go against, except for the ones who are truly lost.
I will have to do some more studying on that front. I will admit that I specialized when I was on the island.
You travel to Avalon, yes?
See.
The objectionists carried his works, but they never had the Inquisition in their numbers. Perhaps there are books there that can help show you who he was outside of the slant that they put on him. No, don't hear me wrong. He was a vicious bastard. But bastards can also carry the truth.
This is true. Just because the face that delivers the message is maybe an ugly one does not make the message any less important.
Now you should probably go. Breakfast will be ready soon. And if you vanish, they will go off into have who knows what adventures in order to figure out where you went.
I also think that she may have quite a bit to say about me disappearing at random.
There's one more thing. And he glances not at your holy symbol, but the other necklace. You need to tell her about him.
Really. I never got to say goodnight to him.
We don't always get the endings we want.
that I would be here
That
again.
last
And
did not come through.
said I did not think I would ever be here again. But you are right. It would be a disservice to her not to tell her about him.
And sooner rather than later, she already knows. And he snaps his fingers and you appear outside of the painting. Rowan.
First initial question.
Rowan,
Yes.
how well did you sleep that night?
Man. She a lot of thinking because that was a lot. And she been preparing herself mentally to tell Raphael what's been eating at her, and also possibly to help the conversation a bit better when it's going to be had soon. But she's been holding the necklace that was given to her by her family, and also, and not the item itself, but the ring box of he who will be said soon. And she's just gonna
He who
keep
will
that
eventually be named. Yep.
yes. She will keep that on her person. But afterwards, really enough, after all that stress and fucking fighting and being possessed for the first time ever, she slept well, and now she's awake and is anxiety ridden.
Well, I'm going to say before you wake up, well, before dawn, around 2 a.m, you woke up. And you see a figure standing at the door. And you recognize the ghost that possessed you.
Seriously. Again? You're coming peaceably. Peaceably. I'm sorry. Jeez. Peaceably. You know what I mean.
Peacefully or peaceably, either one works. Anyway.
Same thing.
There's a second where he has this look of concentration and then apologies.
You're apologizing.
I am. I was angry. I was hungry. You were there.
I understand that more than most. You don't need to apologize. It's not like you were yourself in that moment, I'm assuming.
And neither were you. With me in your skin.
No. You had me do things that I haven't done in a very long time. But it's okay.
It came natural. They taught you well.
If you can say that.
One has to admire skill, even when the application was evil.
Well,
the others are resting.
Yeah.
Your priest gave them the words that allowed them to rest again. I was not good at death the first time. I do not seem to have improved at it. I will be watching over this castle. I will do my I will do my penance that way. And once I've looked over them long enough to pay back the harm I caused, then I shall find my sleep.
That is a good ambition to have. Good luck in your endeavors. And don't feel so bad about what you did to me. It honestly made me realize a few things myself.
It is not what I did to you that causes me the grief. It is what we did to you. And he steps back through the door and vanishes.
At that point, she's going to kind of turn and cry herself to sleep.
You wake up a few hours later. There's a knock on your door. Young serving girl comes in with water, towels, and everything. Some clothes that you'd sent to be cleaned from your trucks that they have all prepared and set out. And looks at you and is like, "Ma'am."
And she like turns over, still holding the objects in her hand. Huh?
You're really big.
And she like fully sits up. Thank you.
If I held your axe like by the head, could you pick me up with it?
I can do more than that, darling. And she go over and grab the axe, let her hold on to it, and she will pick her up and do bicep curls with one arm.
And she is like, "Wee!" just having a great old time as you are curling this girl.
She'll sit her down and then go, you can be this big too. Hold on.
What'd you do?
Hold on. And she will go through her stuff and pull out like a really old journal from when she was a kid. And she goes, here's a workout routine. Here's rules to follow. And then she pulls out the beginning of like a hunter's axe. It needs to be sharpened. But if you want, here's your start. And we might have a place for you in the guild.
The guild? What guild?
You don't know about the guild?
Maybe if you said more about it. Like my daddy's in the blacksmith guild.
Well, this is the Hunters Guild of Vilgrim. We keep all the dangerous monsters from hurting you at night, during the day when you're on the sea.
You fight monsters?
A lot of monsters.
And you take their heads?
I try. But
okay.
But I have learned it is more important to protect those from them than to get a trophy. Remember that.
What if my brother's being like a really big jerk and there's a monster nearby? Like, do I have to protect him, or can I just like...
Of course you protect him, but once you do it, you brag for a very long time about saving him.
I'm going to go and I'm going to like run up and down all the castle stairs like 10 times.
Pace yourself. You got this, honey. And she'll kind of like pat her on the shoulder.
And she's off with So everyone comes out, and after all this is done, folks have gotten dressed, and the dining area has been set up. Andre and Soraya are both there. A lot of the serving crew are eating alongside with them. It's clear they don't rest a whole lot on formality here. Servants serve the meal and then sit down and eat it along with the masters of the house. And you all are welcome to take your seats after a fairly busy night and morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Mykolas is moving a little stiffly, but trying to hide it.
You had a great time also, I'm assuming.
That's one way of putting it, I suppose.
Yeah.
You should have seen Leonora, though.
Amazing as always.
What did I do?
Apparently you were very dope last night.
You were remarkable last night.
I was just relying on instinct. We'll say that.
I have never seen someone use a ladder quite that way before.
Nor have I ever seen someone use a chandelier that way, Mykolas.
Man, I missed all the cool shit. A ladder, a chandelier. I want to swing on a chandelier or a ladder.
Lenora's gonna like whisper over to Rowan and say, I think you got plenty of action last night.
And you just see her blush and just stuff a piece of bread in her mouth.
In Lenora's mouth?
Yes.
Well, that's not in any way, shape, or form subtle. So what do we...
And then she will also eat a piece of bread herself.
Save that one for a TikTok at some point.
Mykolas, my friend. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Are you okay? Given your habits of it, you usually tend to leave these things with injury. Do you mind letting me look you over, please?
I've already treated what injuries I had. I'll be fine.
Anybody else, though?
Father, I might need your assistance a little later. We'll put the pin in it, though.
Okay. I just want to make sure I can check in on everyone. And you, Umberto, did you sleep all right? Are you okay?
He is eating and not saying a word, and he's eating with he's eating now and tasting later.
It's just like Umberto.
And he'll just kind of look up and just finish what he's doing, and he's standing while he's doing this.
Oh, yeah, that's also concerning. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Lenora's gonna read.
Raphael's gonna insight check. Vibe check.
Based on the way Lakar portrayed that, you might as well have a narrator in your ear going, Umberto was in fact not fine. Is that fair? That you are not particularly masked in this moment?
If his inner monologue had subtitles, it would just be screaming.
Oh, buddy.
Lenora, as you read, his arcana are unchanged. There's now a third loop.
Oh, god damn it.
Of the black string around his wrist before it goes off south.
Oh. Lenora, like, focusing a little bit more. Looks directly at Umberto and says, Cugino, You, I would say, haven't touched your food, but I have a feeling you haven't tasted it yet. Do we need to find a moment for us all?
No, I've wasted too many of them as it is.
That was
Well-
really quiet. Try that again.
No, I've wasted too many of them as it is.
Well, I don't see it as a waste.
You never would you?
No, never with you. In fact, now, more than ever, do I wish for you to speak.
At this point, Soraya, looking between the two of you, gives a nod. And she, Andre, and the servants, from whatever they were talking about with eating, pick up their food and go off to eat privately, giving you all space, giving you the room.
Grazie, signora. Something is heavy on your mind. And I will not hide behind veils and say that something's heavy on my mind too.
He'll look frustrated. I need to go
Where?
home.
Where is home?
I need to go back to Vadachi.
I understand this. But where? It is important.
Felici. I have to get back to her.
My only question is, how quickly do you need to get there? Do we split up and some of us take the Sir Bryant to Avalon and some of us come with you? Or can you do it on the trip there? What do you need?
I don't care. I don't want to leave you, but I won't ask any of you to go with me. Because what is waiting for me?
Go ahead.
What is waiting for me? I don't know what's waiting for me, to be honest.
Throughout this conversation, I would say that Leonora is still reading. Does she notice anything about this thread or about his arcana when he mentions her?
Lakar, I've been noticing as you've been doing this, you've had the letter in one of your hands. Is he holding the letter right now?
He takes it out.
Mm-hmm. As you are looking at him, Leonora, there's something about that letter. Feels off. something about your fate read on it. It's like when you're trying to have a conversation in a room, like you're trying to engage with him. He's clearly having this emotional time. You're trying to be there with him, but like when you're trying to have a conversation with someone, and there's like a fly like buzzing around in the room, and you almost want to like, but you can't not look at it. And you feel your eyes just constantly being pulled down to it. And it just feels wrong.
Lenora's going to is Umberto standing, you said?
Yeah.
Lenora's going to stand and start walking towards Umberto and saying, who is she and why is she so important?
And he'll look at the letter. Because she was the woman I was supposed to protect. And she is the woman that I love. And I abandoned her.
Why?
Because there were people that were trying to hurt her. And I apparently was too good at my job. So they blamed me. And I thought running would be the only way to save her.
Lenora, while you're having this conversation, your hand is being drawn almost like with gravity towards the letter. You're barely even aware that you're doing it. And Umberto, you would see it. What is your reaction as you see her hand going towards the letter?
He would immediately pull back.
I'm sorry. There's something about all of this that is wrong. It's connected and I don't like it.
He'll give that anxious chuckle. You, Strega, and your goddamn strings.
What do you know about strings? Are you aware of how brightly they shine or how dark they turn? Are you aware of how thick they can become and how tangled they can be?
Yes.
Umberto, there were times when you were with Angelica when she wanted to toy with you or play with you, that she would use the Strega ability of pulling. Just give you a tug in for a kiss. You'd reach for a glass, it'd get tugged away from your grip. You feel a tug. The hand holding the letter towards Leonora.
I am so tired of your shit.
Umberto, fate has all brought us all together for a reason. And I cannot say with enough conviction that there is something wrong with you wanting to return. Because all of my strings that I've had throughout my life have been direct. Except for this one that wraps around your hand and touches that letter, I have never seen the end of this, and it frightens me.
May I ask a question? Is this a place you can travel through your portals?
If I had the way.
But do you?
Not yet. At least not. No.
Chances are the fastest way there will be by sea then, at this point. I will go with you. Wherever you need to go. In my company, my friend. If you need to make this trip, I will go with you.
Talking of splitting?
No. If we go by sea, we'll have to take the route that will drive us past Avalon anyway, which will allow us to do the errand we need to do there, and then we could go directly to this Felici. I think I traveled through there once a long time ago. But
Felici is notorious. All of the merchant princes are trouble. The Villanuevas, you name it. But the Felicis, particularly of late, are considered to be particularly bloodthirsty. And as it happens, the frontrunners for actually managing to unify Vidachi under one rule.
And are you open to this, Umberto? We go to Avalon, we do what we must there, and then we can, on our way back, stop at Felici. I do not wish for you to face whatever this is alone. I cannot fathom to know, but I can't. I don't want to split up. I don't want us to fragment. It's not. Will you let us go with you?
The
Assuming
father's
I can
strength.
only speak for myself. Sorry.
No, you're right. I do not think it is a good idea for you to go alone. Nor do I
Yeah.
think we should stray the path.
I agree. We're with you. If you'll have us.
You all have a job to do.
No, Umberto, you are our friend. This is not a thing that you can. You cannot shoulder this yourself. Allow us to help you. This obviously weighs heavily on your soul, on your heart. I can see that. Please don't push us away.
I'm not pushing you away. How quick do you think we can do this?
I'm not far from the Isurdan port. Maybe another couple of days land travel, then by sea, a couple of weeks to Avalon. Sorry.
Yeah, probably a couple weeks to Avalon, and then a couple of weeks to Felici, and honestly, probably the faster way. None of you would be particularly excited about going southward over the mountains with the storms that you came through.
1 month, Cugino. Can you last 1 month?
It's not a matter of I can or not. Come on. far longer without her. It's the matter of I don't know what I will find when I get there. And I don't
Resist
want
whatever
to.
it is.
And I'm scared. I am absolutely terrified that if I wait 1 second longer, it will be too late.
When Umberto, who's usually so cavalier and so devil-may-care, admits to the fear, what are the reactions of everyone? The three of you from where you're sitting and Leonora standing in front of him.
Mykolas will get up and walk over to Umberto and put his hand on his shoulder. I understand this better than most. Can I get there in time? Can I make a difference? But we will get there as fast as we can. And you will do it prepared with the people who will stand next to you no matter what you find.
We will see
Another
you
thing.
later.
Now that I think on it,
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Sorry. Now that I think on it, the four of you, it would make things a lot easier. Getting in shouldn't be a problem. It's getting up there.
Hey, we have a plan. And we got you, dude.
Roan, you'll like this one.
Okay.
How would you all like to make a lot of money?
Oh, let's fucking go, dude.
We take your friend home, and then we go home. And all of you get to bring in a wanted criminal. How about that?
Oh, I haven't explored that side of the hunting yet. That'll be fun.
You are technically traveling with at least one, two, probably, judging by that.
I like to make my choices differently.
Cugino, I don't like where any of this is going. But you know that I am with you. And fate has brought us together for a reason. I don't need to hear your sarcasms.
No, trust me. Fate is being a very, very cruel jokester right now. The
And
letter,
Umberto, as you look at Leonora in that moment, as she is fed up with your joking around and kind of cutting it off, in that moment, she reminds you so much of Angelica. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. We will run some prep for other shows, and we will be back in just a few minutes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Black Rose Society, a game of swashbuckling action, suspenseful intrigue, and corsets in places you would never expect to find corsets, all set in the world of 7th Sea. So, as the door finally bursts open, Sylvester steps in, and he just glares at you, and his eyes go wide. with fury, says, "It is you, Demetrius Penn, rogue of the bedroom, thief of virtue, seducer of women."
Hello. Your eyes do not deceive you. Demetrius Penn is here, and enjoy your night. I know she did. And then I run off.
As you move along, you come to a passage that opens into a large, well-lit chamber. A chimney of sorts above you funnels warm air up and out of this room, keeping it relatively chilled, and inside you see a number of cadavers in various stages of embalming.
Jackpot! And starts pulling out her tools. She takes the skin from between the fingers. She plucks the pinky nail off. She sits there and goes, I'm very, very sorry about this. But we all have our own individual practices, and she's talking to the cadavers as she's working.
I couldn't help but overhear that you were talking about some people who shouldn't be here. We're worried about some duelists. Is there something that people should be aware of?
He then looks around and notices that everyone else is down. And looks at the two of you. Fucking Inish.
You wish you were fucked by the Inish.
May I announce Miss Verity Loris Victoire Couteau, daughter of the Honorable Curias Victoire Couteau of Montaigne, granddaughter of the hero of the Aberdeen Fields, and duelist of the School of Ambrosia.
Well, I would definitely bask in the extra couple of Mississippis of everyone turning their attention to me. And by the time he's finally been well, fine, she'll just have drop the jacket and be clearly fully dressed for a duel, just in a nice leather bodice set, and she's got her sword and she's just all right. And again, the boots are the whole outfit.
Body types. There's actually one gal that you would guess. You don't know if she's from Vestin Monavignyar, but she's clearly of Vestin heritage. Tall, blonde, tied back down to her butt.
She looks like she can kill me. The lean on the Arnell, Arno. There's 3 of everyone. You bring me to the nicest places, you know that.
The local guildmaster is quite a fan of freckles.
Well, that is wonderful to know. Thank you for letting that slip. I didn't even have to bribe you for that bit.
Only the first taste is free.
He puts down some gold. How much else is free?
Welcome back. We are fast forwarding half a week forward. The party having finally healed their wounds and taken time to rest, but now realizing that time was of the essence in a way it hadn't been previously due to the preservation of Sir Bryant's body. The group starts moving as expeditiously as they can. Overland travel in the winter through Uzura is never easy, and there's often a matter of how far can we get. Okay, this is a good camp, we could maybe travel farther, but we don't know that we're going to find a better camp in that time, and that sort of decision making is going on. In this sort of travel time, a bunch of you have some long-term projects that are going on, so we are going to hop from character to character to hear what you have been up to over, again, let's call it somewhere between 4 and 7 days of travel time. We'll start with Leonora.
Lenora will definitely take some time to get rid of some lashes.
And what way is she doing that?
How many times can I do it?
Because we're going over a period of time, you have your death spiral.
Cool. All right.
You have your death spiral, and you have fate points to give me.
All right. I am going to yeah, might as well. Hey, Master Storyteller, would you like 7 villain points?
I would definitely love 7 villain points.
Great.
Hang on
You
1 second.
no, don't
3,
show them
4,
off.
5, 6. I'm now out of the big ones. There are now 11 villain points in play,
Great.
and you are down to 6 lashes.
Correct. I am going to pay 11 minor wounds to get rid of 2 more lashes.
All right.
So I'm up to 2 major wounds.
Yep, you're at 2 dramatics plus 1 minor.
I'm down to 4. And then I would like to finish my card.
Okay. Make the roll. Oh, and get rid of anything 3 or lower.
It's perfect. Awesome. Cool. And with my 2 raises, I officially have my 4th card.
You have now completed that particular version of the story. Do you happen to know what tessere you will be adding to your repertoire?
I am adding, because I get to add 1 of each, correct?
I believe so.
Yes. I will be adding a minor pull.
Mhm.
And a major blessing.
All right. There is a moment, Leonora, as you are feeling this power, as you finish your deck. And it's your deck. It resonates with you in a way that the old ones that you would use never had. The ones that could just be bought at any merchant stall in Vodacce. These are yours. And you reach out. And who would be the first that you would tug? I'm not even going to charge you anything for it because this is over the course of days, but no lashes or anything connected. But the first time you would try that power that you have, who would you tug at?
I think I would tug at Umberto.
You reach out and you tug at Umberto. And suddenly there is a spark, like static shock. And you take another 3 minor wounds as you see fizzling energy up the side of your arm as if you were discharging a lash.
Do I get to discharge a lash?
No.
But I go up 3 more? I thought you were
3
going
more?
to charge me.
Not a lash.
Why 3 though? Oh, man.
And Umberto, you feel the tug, but again, you felt this before. It was one of Angelica's favorite toys. This feels like someone was reaching, grabbing at you, and didn't get the good grab. Like they tried to grab your shoulder and their finger slipped rather than getting the good. And so you feel the tug back, and it's definitely in Lenora's direction, but it feels like it didn't connect. Is there a reaction? Oh, go ahead.
Did you do that?
Me? I think so.
Yep, too much.
What do you mean by that?
Not important.
All right, we're going to move on. Mykolas, anything that you are up to over the course of these days of travel?
There is that sense of needing to prepare for what's coming. I think every day he sits down and looks at that sword, tries to figure out new things about it if he can. It clearly can change and so on. So there's obviously something going on with it.
It hasn't showed any signs of changing since that initial. But everything about it, like, do you leave it sheathed or do you ever try pulling it?
He pulls it out like once a day to look at it. Never in anger, never to practice with, just to examine it, get to know what it feels like and so on.
Its balance is perfect as you are holding it. Like, part of the problem with cavalry sabers is they are a nightmare to get the balance right. And part of the understanding is the horse is doing a lot of the work. So it's okay that it's not. This one is, in a way that doesn't make a ton of physical sense. And you're looking at it and it's just like, it feels like it was made for you. And you're starting to suspect that that's because it was. You don't know how, but it seems to have crafted itself into your perfect weapon.
Does it? He's used to a certain kind of unnatural senses from time to time because of being a Losajas and dealing with Rona. Does it do anything along those lines? Does he feel a tug of it? Does he feel an influence like she sometimes does?
So her voice has been somewhat muted in anticipation of the completion of of this bargain, but there is a sense when you hold it, because you said you're not practicing, right? You're just holding it and looking at it.
Yeah, like he's not going to use it in any kind of practice sessions or anything like that.
Okay, so you're not using it against anyone else, but you are like making cuts and like,
yeah, getting a feel for its weight.
As you are doing, so like you're not sparring with it, but you are like doing your forms, your practice and stuff like that with it. There's an odd sense of synergy with Rona when you do that. Whenever you fight, Rona fights along with you. It's one of the things she likes about you. She enjoys how you fight, and you've always known that. But there's always been this sense of you fight differently. Like, she would always prefer you make the stronger strikes and stuff like that. You tend to hold back. You tend to think more about the defense and protecting those around you. The exceptions have been when you are just the arrow heading to the target. And in those moments, now wielding this, you feel that synergy all the time. And it's not, she's not grasping for control. She's not trying to tempt you. It's like you understand each other better while you're wielding this.
Yep. And every day after he does that, he puts it back in the sheath. He ties it closed. And it does not get drawn otherwise.
All right. Raphael. Anything you are getting up to? You would notice Leonora is looking pretty rough. And you all know why at this point. Leonora, are you trying to hide it anymore, or do you tell everyone you're doing it?
I mean, they could see it. I'll have my sleeves rolled up. My bandages are unkept when we're not amongst other company.
So at some point while she is doing it, he will walk up to her, because the first time he's tried to, like, after the tower, when she really laid into herself, she didn't let him heal her. Granted, Mykolas was in the shape that he was in, and he understood that at the time. But when she said, "I did this to myself," he kind of respected the space on that. But he is still going to stand like beside her, and whenever she is done, what he will opt to do is rewrap the bandages around her arms in such a way that they're a little more snug. So while her wounds are tender, that it isn't going to hurt quite as badly. And if she'll let him, he will heal her. But barring if she doesn't, then he is going to just gently offer to wrap her arms and make sure that she's not hurting herself too much, making sure Umberto is as okay as he's going to be, given the certain set of circumstances. He knows better than to poke at that too soon, so he's letting him feel his feelings, because that's a good thing and that's constructive. He's watching Mykolas with the words of Rico in the back of his head, making sure to just keep an eye on him and make sure he's okay too. And also with Roan, he had, like, ever since the brother told him, you need to tell her about him, she already knows. The sooner you do it, the better. He has been trying to find the words to say, but every single time he tries, it's like the words get stuck in his throat.
All right.
He's still attentive to her, but just
real quick, just to handle the technical stuff. Natalie, would Leonora allow Raphael to heal?
100%. She
Okay.
needs it.
Raphael, as you place your hands on her arm where you see the blackened veins, and you put your hands on and you watch, similar to how your own wounds have always healed, you watch as those black veins retreat. Not all the way, but you remove the last traumatic wound and all the minors leading to it. And as you are touching that, Leonora, you feel that it isn't just the pain that is being healed. The balance around you seems to be righting itself. Like the imbalance of fate that you as a Strega create, and that the wounds are a penance for. You feel as if that is being resolved. Like one of the things I feel like you worried about, this might be me reading too much between the lines, and let me know if it is, was that, like, if the wound got healed, is fate still out of balance? And you sense, no, fate has remained balanced. This isn't a cheat.
No, that absolutely, she would take comfort in this revelation for sure.
Okay. Rowan, any projects you're up to, or any things you get up to during this time of travel?
She's pretty quiet most of it. Just I think and she's at this point she's not really hiding it. So if anyone says something, they say something. She has been like keeping the necklace tucked and been fondling that ring box like 90% of the day.
Gotcha. And Umberto.
He would have been just turning the chess piece in his hand, and as they're traveling, he would have marked it a few times over the course of the days they were out.
So take your 3 dramatics. But so the first time you mark it, it's like any other time you've marked something. And typically, an item can only take 1 mark. But you have a connection to this piece. And so the second time, you apply the mark. And it moves almost like, if you've seen that ferrous liquid that can be used to make all those cool shapes, like it slides into the first one, and it kind of spreads out and it sort of infuses around, and it still feels like a mark. Like, you know that if you used it to port it to you or to port to it, that you would expend the blood on it. But it's in the object rather than just on it. And the third time, suddenly it's almost like it's glowing in your hand. There's no light coming off of it. It's entirely in your portée sense. But then you watch as the blood vanishes almost entirely. It's gone. And yet it's in there. This object is a permanent mark. Porting to it will still come with the cost of porting. But the mark remains.
Soon, Mia Stella. Soon. I promise.
All right. As you all are traveling along the road, you are coming up. It's not the button I wanted to push. You are coming up on the city of Ukatnava, the Uzuran port. It's called the Great Uzuran Port. It's actually the only Uzuran port of any real mention. Volcanic activity in the area keeps the waters warmer, so the port does not get frozen over for half the year every year. The waters are dangerous because it's warm water from steam vents coming into the extremely cold water from Other Bay. So it's dangerous, but it's open. And you finally get to the end of what you think you can reasonably travel that day, but you see the city of Ukatnava on the horizon. You will get there tomorrow. You have found let's have a little bit of fun with that. There haven't been a lot of dice here so far. Who would be leading the trip and finding the good camping spots and stuff like that? Mykolas.
Probably Mykolas. He's got the unfailing direction sense and all of that jazz. So,
all right. So go ahead and give me your. It's going to be wits and either notice. Yeah, probably wits and notice.
Okay.
Unless you want to talk me into something else.
I could argue warfare because we're making camps on the march, but
I don't hate it. Yeah, go ahead and roll with some warfare.
Okay. And I get to re-roll one of them because it's one of my skills I have 3 in. Okay. Let's see. 2. 3. Total.
All right. You manage to find a spot. You get there and you feel a little bit sheepish when you realize you could really fit a whole company in this spot. Pretty well. It's a bit big for you all, but it'll totally work. It's sheltered. And there's some fuel nearby, and even under some of the trees, a little bit of fodder for the horses so that you're not going through your oats too terribly quickly. Persepolis, of course, has no interest in the oats. Yeah, he is all apples all the time. You all are able to set up your camp, and you've got the cart, you've got the horses. As you're coming in, we often jump to you all waking up in camp. So when this group has now been traveling together overland for quite some time, what is sort of the dynamics? Like, what do you all do as camp is getting set up? What jobs do you take on?
Ron does most of the heavy lifting when setting up and also hunting with Mykolas for food and stuff like that.
I will actually point out, Leonora definitely has that part handled.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
she's got that advantage.
Yes, I have the survivalist advantage, so I can find food very fast. Plus, I got the cornucopia.
We just assume that you all have the food at this point.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't been having you make those rolls.
Oh, okay. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, no. If not that, then yeah, no. That's what she did. She just do like the heavy lifting and all that stuff.
All right.
I think Mykolas probably falls into the role of asking Leonora what she needs him to do. Like, do you need me to chop wood? Do you need me to chop vegetables for you or something? Because he doesn't have to hunt. He doesn't have to set a watch or something, scout for enemies. So, like, standard army camp stuff. You need help with this? Sure, I'll do this.
Lenora?
I don't know, Raphael. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please.
No, I don't know what Raphael does because everybody else has the things covered. I would say he would offer to make food, but Lenora does that for the most part.
Lenora
so
gathers.
like,
Lenora doesn't necessarily prepare it.
I feel like I've been put in a
Raphael
box.
Raphael will cook then. He'll make food over the fire and things like that after Lenora brings him the things that she has probably prepped, skinned, or whatever else have you. He's made enough food, I imagine, for himself that he can absolutely throw some food together for the group.
Lenora, after apparently delegating all of these people to do these odd jobs, will just be making sure that not only everyone has what they need, but also that the horses are well fed and well stocked. And we'll just kind of do like touch tabs with everybody.
And Umberto?
Umberto would be bouncing around, doing different things, helping when needed, constantly stealing apples from the cornucopia.
There's one awkward moment where you are like nonchalantly reaching back to grab an apple from the cornucopia, and your hand suddenly touches something warm and soft, and you look over, and it's Persepolis' nose. He was trying to do the exact same thing, and there's this awkward moment where you both make eye contact.
At least you have good taste.
He pulls it out, chomps it in half, lets the other half rest near you, and then goes in and grabs another apple from the cornucopia and walks off.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
All right. So as you all kind of gather around the fire, it's not bad. It's still cold and windy, but you've got good shelter. It's not actively snowing. The horses seem to enjoy having some fodder to chew on and stuff like that. So they're all relatively chill. And out of curiosity, McCurdy, I assume you are normally in charge of the fire. Has that continued in your period of not having that inherent ability anymore?
Probably. I think he actually takes a certain amount of pride in getting good at doing it the old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm.
Like remembering the skills and even if he can't supernaturally enhance it, like he's probably got a familiarity with fire that most people don't.
Yeah. So yeah, you are able to set up. There's a nice you found enough fuel in the area that you can keep a decent fire going for most of the night. Probably have to occasionally take turns going out to chop wood and add to it, but you've got food, you've got warmth, you've got good company. You all kind of sit around the fire.
Yeah.
I think Roan at this point will just randomly stand up and just look at Raphael. Hey, come here. And then just walk off like behind somewhere privately. But
I need the others to know and describe this. The quickness in which Raphael is up and being summoned, like it's you blink and Raphael is gone with as fast as his little legs can freaking carry him because he's 5'10" and this woman is 6'6".
In the Dachin, Leonora just turns to Umberto and says, "We definitely know who wears the pants, I guess."
You know what? I'll take that. I don't care.
Yep.
All right. So, Raphael, you follow Roan. About how far out are you going, Roan?
Not enough where they can't be overheard, but not far enough where it will be a problem, if that makes sense.
What is Rowan's understanding of how far that is?
Okay, see, you're depending on Took to know how far that is.
So you are trying to be far enough away that you can't be overheard.
Yeah, I think 20 feet to 15 feet might be the distance, but Took don't really know how long that is.
So outside of the light of the campfire, outside
Yeah.
of the warmth of the campfire,
Yeah.
but still in view of the campfire.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
And when he arrives, she's like just sitting next to a tree, and he can see that that box that she's been carrying, like in her hand, completely.
He looks at the box, looks up at her, and like his heart drops to his ankles. not in a sad or like a response. It's nervous, and it's just like, I noticed you were carrying that, and I wanted to ask, but I wasn't sure if I should. In any case, I've been meaning to talk to you anyway.
Let me, and she has dropped like her regular accent completely and has switched over to Castilian. Let me talk first, if that would be okay.
By all means, mi cariño. Which means my darling in Spanish, just for those who are not aware.
Oh, that hurt my heart. Okay. I don't want to hide anything from you, so I'm going to start now not doing that. There was more to the story about the scar you asked about that night. And I'll start with this. And she opens up the box. Normally there'll be like one like betrothal ring in it. And it is fucking nice. Like it's like one of the rings that if you went and sold it, you would get like probably a lot of money from it. But you can obviously tell that it's a male ring. And then she lifts up the packaging of it a bit, and you can see one that is big enough to definitely fit her finger. That is also just basically like the twin of that ring, but also beautiful in a more fanciful sense. When I was running away from those creatures, I told you about those vampiric wolves. I wasn't alone. I was with someone who I became very quick friends with, and the person I was supposed to marry because of my family. His name was Duccio Torres. Honestly, if I didn't know better, you two could probably be twins.
What happened to him?
We were running away, and he stayed back to fight off the creatures that was after me. I ran away from home, or shall I say Castile as a whole. And when I thought that I was alone, he showed up, saying that who am I to run away alone? We are in this together, and if I'm being honest, I believed him, and I believed that for a long time, hoping that he would come back, because he never did. And honestly, at this point, I don't think he will. The scar has a lot of meaning to me. And recently, and she'll pull back one of the big scars they got from one of the fights they've been in recently. This one is going to remind me of my time with all of you, and especially you. So I told you this to let you know that if you need to tell me anything, I won't judge. I will listen. And I am patient, even though I have showed multiple times that I am not. But for you, I will endure.
Ooh, okay, so Raphael's eyes start to get a shimmer to them, and he will reach into the cloak that he's wearing, and he pulls on a second chain, which you have seen, but probably it hasn't really been out. So he takes it, undoes the chain, does it back, and holds the ring in his hand and holds it out to her. This was the ring he gave me. We were on Badasine Island. I met him on my walk in faith and ended up finding someone who I thought I would be able to walk through the rest of my life with. In fact, when I was supposed to go before the cardinals and all of that, I told him, I said, I'll see you after this, and when I do, take you home to get us all. And I will marry you. I never got to say goodbye before they exiled me from the island. Couldn't. I tried. I have sent letter after letter. And even before I met all of you, I even contemplated trying to go back for a long while. But I never heard anything, and at this point I do not know if he is even alive. He meant the world to me, and I never thought that I would ever be in a position where I'd be able to give my heart to someone else who would be able to cherish it the way he did. And perhaps that might be the point. I do not know what the future holds in a general sense. I do know, though, that my life has gotten infinitely better with you in it. And if you will still have me, I would still like the privilege to call you mine.
At that point, she's just gonna walk up and kiss him and hold him tight.
Back.
All right. Back at the camp.
He is softly crying at that point.
Back at the camp, are any conversations happening around the fire, or is everyone being very quiet and wondering if a gust of wind might bring some noise their way?
It's a little cold to be doing that sort of thing away from the fire, but
Oh, shush. Don't be a stick in the mud when they're fun.
I'm happy for them.
I am too.
People should pursue passion when it comes their way.
I agree. It's a beautiful gift when given, or when you have a chance to grasp it.
Okay, so I have to ask, what is hearing that doing to Umberto?
He's kind of lost in the moment, just still playing with the chess piece. But when he hears that, and it kind of clicks in his head what she said, passion, it can drive a lot. But if it's unfocused too much, then it is just a mess.
It can be.
I believe you.
Kojina,
See?
I want to ask you a question.
I'm all ears.
When you first learned what you could do, was it scary?
It was terrifying. Not only because I could do great and powerful things, but because of the dreams it brought as well. There's no rest for people with power like ours.
Mm-mm.
But I had a great teacher who told me that my gifts can be used far better than what they were intended or how our society chooses them to be. And for that, I believe I live better. For myself, if you know what I mean.
Did anyone teach you how to read? Because it's my understanding that the women with these gifts are forbidden.
It is in higher society. It is not looked likely that someone with that much power should also get knowledge as well. But I was gifted with a brave man who I call my papa, who said that I could use talent and I can use the power to read and write as well.
I am unfamiliar. They don't let women with your abilities learn to read normally?
No, they like to keep them under control.
It is a way for the princes to, I should say, make sure that they stay the princes. If their wives knew how to read and write, there's no telling what they could do or something like that.
She had a gift.
A gift.
And he'll take out the letter again, knowing that what I say should tell you exactly all you need to know about the, what's the word I'm looking for? Conviction of what I said before. She's like you, Leonora. She is a lady, Strega. And she wrote me a letter. So what does that tell you?
That tells me Umberto, I'm so sorry.
And who do you think taught her to read and write?
Oh, Cugino.
So when I tell you there is nothing I would not do to get back to her, I mean it.
I can understand that. I can understand there being someone that you would cut through the entire world just to be next to.
And it felt like some days that I did. Because it felt like the world sent every man they could. And some women, very skilled. I want to also point out to you something. That man you met before, the one who was smiling and happy and seemed to not be able to keep his hands off of another woman.
Do you mean the one in the tower?
No, I mean me.
Yes.
That was the lie. If you noticed, it was always redheads, right?
Everyone has a type.
It was more of a making it seem out to be the reason. So when we do get back there, you're going to hear some things. You're going to hear a lot of things about me. And they're true and not true at the same time.
Umberto, I want to see this through with you, but I can't be seen in a place like that. And I know you can't either, for obvious reasons, but I want you to just understand the risk involved. It's not that I wouldn't do anything to help you. but there are some restrictions that are even so prohibiting for me to go past.
At this point, I'm spending a villain point.
Of course you are.
A gust of wind blows through the clearing. You've been shielded from most of it, but this comes through. This gust of wind pulls the letter from Umberto's grasp, and it's going towards the fire.
He is immediately going to dive towards it.
Anyone else making a reaction towards it?
I think Mykolas would. He's just instinctively not afraid of the fire, so he will just reach into the fire to catch it before it hits the flame.
Leonora is going to pay a lash, and she's going to pull the letter.
Can you pull inanimate objects usually? Or does it have to be someone with fate?
In the book, it says to pull your target toward you.
All it says is target?
Well, it says take one lash to pull your target toward you, and then it goes on to say the character loses one raise as he stumbles headlong toward you.
Okay, so this is a character. Normally, you wouldn't be able to do this.
Okay.
But spend your lash. And is it just the lash or also the hero point?
Just a lash.
All right. Spend your lash. You connect to the letter. Umberto, go ahead and give me your finesse and athletics. Mykolas, give me the same.
Oh. I get to reroll one, so this will be fun. I got 4, 3 of which were 10s.
Dang. All right. 4. Okay. Give me just 1 second.
Dan is full. How do I want to do this mode?
Umberto and Mykolas, at the same time, both of your hands go out. This is startling. Umberto, you are hurling yourself forward. Mykolas, you're just trying to help, and you're not afraid of fire. So you both come together, and your hands would clamp down on where the letter is going to be. And between the two of you, you make sure that none of you actually go into the flame over the course of doing this. But you watch as the letter, seemingly carried by the wind, is pulled into Leonora's hand. And Leonora, as you hold it, I'm spending another villain point. And it is as if you were unloading a level 5 lash, as the energy just starts crackling over you and filling you. And Umberto, you are watching as sparks are coming off of the letter, off of her hand, as the lines start going up and burning at her. What are we doing?
She's screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to immediately try to get it out of her hands.
Easily enough done. You are able to grab it back and grab it away. Leonora, in this moment, you know every word that is in the letter. We will send a copy of it to you. And you have an image of yourself writing it.
Yeah. I think Mykolas is like pulling her away from the letter and wrapping her in cloth and like looking around for Raphael, because Raphael knows how to heal people better than he does.
So yeah, you all would hear the screaming from the camp. Like they couldn't overhear a casual conversation, but you hear screaming.
Looks up at Rowan and then looks back at the camp and then will take off running.
Same. She's right after him.
You see Mykolas holding Leonora. You see Leonora holding her hand as if it had been burned, but you see the energy. You see Umberto holding the letter. And Umberto, you instinctively look at to make sure it's okay, that it didn't get burned, that it wasn't damaged when she pulled it. It looks as if it has been freshly written. You almost expect the ink to still be wet. As if every aging, every fading, everything that would have happened from all of its time of travel, the burn damage is gone. The letters, the words have not changed. The handwriting is still the same.
What did you do?
What did I do? What is this? Who is this?
This is why I hate fate.
Less worried about fate. Raphael, good. She's been burned.
No, he would have skid in, and having unfortunately become very familiar with Lenora's screams, immediately starts rapid unraveling everything, and then and he's going to put his hands on her because he does still have that second one, and spend the hero point. And he's also gonna.
Oh yeah, you took the 5. It was as if you discharged a level 5 lash. So yeah, you took the 5 minors. But another dramatic gets healed.
Great.
What happened?
I don't know what witchcraft this is, but it is not a teaching that I have learned.
While Raphael is helping and healing Leonora, the rest of you would be able, well, Umberto's probably in his own head at the moment, but Mykolas and Roan, you would be able to see that Leonora's deck of cards has spilled out on the ground.
What cards come up?
Yeah, I was
Moonless,
same.
the Moonless Knight and the Thrones. And you pick them up, and then the Moonless Knight and the Thrones. And then the Moonless Knight and the Thrones. And then the Moonless Knight and the Thrones. And you blink, and it's a normal deck again.
Okay.
In the sky, the moon is gone, covered by a sudden cloud as it vanishes.
Leonora, I know this is not normal. What do you need?
I need answers. I can't go without not knowing. Who this might be, why this happened, why this absolute midnight strand of ash is connected from me, wrapping around Umberto's arm and back, and then she points to the south.
Umberto, part of being a portier is you have pretty good sense of direction and where you're at.
I have direction sense.
Mm-hmm. She could be pointing like an arrow at Felici right now.
Who is this person who wrote the letter? What? We've talked around her. but you have not said who she is.
He's staring the direction, and then he will just look over. Lady Angelica Felici.
Lenora kind of almost says it at the same time, and you see her almost saying Angelica Felici as if she's tasting the name for the first time. But it's familiar.
You say it 2 or 3 times, villain point. The 4th time, you say your own name.
Lenora, look at me. You're here with us. I won't let you go. You are here. Whatever you saw, you are here.
I am here. I need to rest. I feel so drained.
He'll help her over to her bedroll.
All right. The night well on, folks try to sleep as they are able. Lenora, you sleep the sleep of the exhausted. No dreams, but a sense of walking under an endless moonless night. And in the distance, Felici. And suddenly you know, without any hesitation, that that's where the string connects. And you guess you know to who. Morning comes. Those who were able to sleep are looking a bit better rested than those who were not. And there's that odd sense of quiet. Raphael and Rowan having said these things to each other and still kind of waiting to see how it rests and lands. Umberto, how are you looking at Lenora this morning? How has that changed?
Just confused, astounded. He doesn't know what the hell happened, how she did that to the letter, why it hurt her as bad as it did. So he's looking at her like she is just this enigma.
And you have a memory traveling along the road with her and her humming that lullaby. The lullaby of the Felici house, sung to almost every child who grew up in its walls. Never anywhere else that you can think of. Not that you've been going around cataloging lullabies, but you're able to load up the cart. Raphael, as you kind of go alongside the cart at one point, you look over and you see the sackcloth bag wrapped around the painting that holds Rico Sandoval, where you put it. I'm going to go ahead and guess Rowan knows. Because Rowan would have recognized it.
You would have told her.
She probably would have helped him carry it on top of that.
It's not that big of a painting, but yeah. It's not one of those big. It's not a mural. it's a painting, but and you start heading down towards Ukatnava, And very quickly, there is an air of celebration. The one thing about the Userans, brutal as they can be, they also really get into when it's time to celebrate or party, or if it's not that time at all, and darn it, they're going to do it anyway. They might be the most joyous people in Thea. They're known for it. It was a great irritation to the Samartians they were fighting because it was hard to, like, I don't know why they're so happy, but they are. Should we be worried about that in the time of war? But so they're singing and they're celebrating, and there's folks just randomly dancing in the snow-covered streets, and they're moving around in just a general festival atmosphere as you come into the town. It's a decent-sized town. Again, it's their main port. And you can see that there are a few ships in it.
Well, hit the harbor.
Yep.
See if we can find a captain willing to take us. Shouldn't be too hard.
All right, so heading straight to the docks. Okay.
So if you need help in negotiating things, I can probably talk people into it. If you need help doing that, of course. I don't know how they would receive me, but I could try.
Well, you're a better talker than I am.
Yes, but you speak their language a little bit more fluently than I do.
Not really, but close.
You're able to get down. So, as you were approaching the docks, there are a couple of ships. Most of them just look like normal fishing vessels, and your guess is that none of those are the sort that are going to be going as far as Avalon. Though they could maybe get you as far as one of the Eisner ports, maybe a Vestin Manavinjar port. Doesn't mean they stay always in local waters, but there is a bigger ship that looks like it's set up for passengers and trade and that sort of thing. It is flying Castilian colors under the name of Sandoval's Fortune.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, this is funny. I'm sorry.
I feel like
it is.
Raphael and her share
Talk
of
about
look
on the
like,
nose.
Yeah, like really.
A lot of
like,
Castilian
really?
ships have the name Sandoval somewhere in the name.
Yeah,
they've been the ruling family for a very long
just
time.
what Raphael will conspiratorially like lean into Rowan and go shake his head and go Castilians, and then just start looking for a quartermaster or somebody who is in charge, who they would speak to.
You see someone on the docks, and he's looking like he's handling trade, but he looks like he's in a foul mood. And he's just yes, put those over there, and that isn't even remotely a Castilian accent, but we're gonna roll with it. And it's just it's like, all right, can't get those over there too. Yes, you too. You look like you want something. Are you here to sell?
No, Mimigo, we are actually looking to purchase passenger ship. We've got a little group and a cart full of our things.
We would. I could maybe handle the things on the cart. We can do. There will not be room for the cart itself, and our place for horses. We only have room for one, unfortunately. But if that is fine with you, we do have passenger cabins. Where is your? To what port are you heading?
Avalon?
We will certainly be hitting Carleon along the way. There are a couple stops en route. It will not be direct, as we are a trading vessel, but if that is sufficient, and he will get down some things. Are they done back there yet? terribly sorry. We've had some misfortune recently.
What's happened?
Anything we?
If you don't mind my asking. Yeah.
Yeah, docks are dangerous. There was a passenger that we were going to take aboard, and he seemed to have fallen into some trouble here on the docks. And so now we need to make sure. No one even really knows where he's from. Samartian by his clothing, but it's not like Samartians are particularly rare around here, so we don't even know where to send the body.
Mykolas is probably listening nearby and will step forward. Body?
Poor bastard had his throat slashed. Pockets emptied. Sort of thing that happens if you're not being careful on the docks. But no one but me to deal with it, so yeah, I know not all Samartians know each other, but if you wish to take a look.
I will take a look, yes.
Okay, come aboard. And he leads you over to, and you can immediately, the moment you're up on the deck, you can see where the body's been laid out and covered respectfully with the sheet. And walking over, he pulls the sheet back. And there, with a slashed throat, you see the body of Janos. And with that, we are going to bring this episode to a close. Thank you so much to Basics of the Game for hosting us. Thank you to Dragon of the Dark Rose for producing us. Thank you so much to all my players. And as always, keep playing more games.
Mia Sole, it's been a long time since you left me in this tower. Grandfather suspects that I'm now literate. I have hidden the gift you taught me well, though he keeps a closer eye on me than he once had. I've never actually written a letter to another before. Yet another first of mine that I've given you without you beside me. Though this is destined for the fires, not to be sent. I don't even know where you are, let alone if you're safe. I do wish you were here with me still. I've always wondered as to why you left me, without word no less. What I had done wrong, if anything at all. I hope you are alive, safe, and enjoying your life. I used to wish, dream even, that one day you'd come walking through my door again. I've since released that dream. I have lost hope for that long ago. I suppose I'm writing this to you as a sort of goodbye, though I do not wish to ever say such sadness to you, my sweet, beloved Umber. Goodbye, my love. I will forever love you. Always. Yours, Angelica.